Okay, we was in, I'm back, Isaiah 49:5. It says, and now, said the Most High, that formed me from the womb. So the Most High formed us from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, to gather the 12 tribes together again to the Most High. How can we be a spiritual Israelite? When he's telling us. And now, said the Most High, that formed me from the womb. Like he formed every last one of us from the womb, else you wouldn't be here. To be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, though Israel be not gathered, though we not gathered as one body, to go all together. He said gonna make us little sanctuaries and so forth. Yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Most High, and my power shall be my strength. See? And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob. Most I said it's a light thing. But whatever we doing, it's a light thing to the Most High. Y'all might think it's something big. It ain't no big thing to the Most High. He said it's a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved. The preserved is the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Many names that he, in his Bible, he calls us chosen, the few, the many, the all, which is a certain number, the elect, the election, the sanctified, the glorified, the purified, all these words representing the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. And to restore the preserved of Israel, of the Israelites, not anybody else. He said, I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the world. So when you look at this light to the Gentiles, because our people, what are you calling yourself? If you're not an Israelite, what are you? A Gentile. Your daddy, your mama, your granddaddy, your grandfather, all of them. We that are Israelites saying, we Israelites. Like I've been saying it forever and ever and ever, seem like. People still say it. I'm a Gentile. I'm black. I'm African American. I'm this, I'm that. I mean, I got 105 different identities of who we say we are. Mainly of Negroid descent. 105 different identities. You hear what I'm saying? You listen to my videos, I was counting. Asking people, what's your race? 105 different identities? Man, that's Gentile. Goyim, nations, don't know who you are. Like I went to church to, West Angeles church. I asked them, okay, well, we Gentiles been grafted in. We are Gentiles been grafted in. They say, yeah, we Gentiles, we been grafted in. And I asked them who you been grafted in among, they couldn't tell you. Ask somebody to go to church, they the same thing I just said, and see, they say, yeah, we were grafted in. You ask them who they was grafted in among. See what you get. See, we just regurgitating something that somebody done programmed us to say with no real validity of truth in it. If anything, somebody grafted in among us. They come among us. We the lights to the Gentiles. You see? And those Gentiles are the 12 tribes of Israel. And I say 12 tribes because, look at it. Brothers come in, sisters come in, they're the tribe of Judah. Y'all say, if y'all say the nine tribes are the only Gentiles, come on now. They came from those Gentile states of mind. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and all 12 tribes. Straight up. That's why look at, real quick, just to show you, St. John, the 7th chapter, verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, I'm here to show you that we as Israelites are called Gentiles. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither would he go? that we shall find him. Will he go will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles? The dispersed, remember the Most High scatterers among all nations? So that's dispersed among all nations. Will he go to the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? Because you understand, we that were raised and come up with the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of a Mashiach Yahushua and dealing with the laws and so forth of the Most High, knowing that they wasn't destroyed, like Mashiach Yahushua said, don't think that he come to destroy the law of the prophets, the Old Testament. We're looking at those that were in the land of, you name it, Corinthians, that are Israelites, Thessalonians, that are Israelites, call themselves Thessalonians, or in the land of Galatia, call themselves Galatians, Israelites. Not calling themselves Israelites, but Galatians. Just give you an example. Those that's in Rome call themselves Romans, but they're Israelites. You name it. They were calling themselves Gentiles. They were Gentiles because they had forgot about the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. They dealing with idolatry and all that all the nations dealing with, because they are scattered among them, dealing with that. You see? That's why we are light to those, even those that are our people now, calling themselves African American or whatever name they call themselves. I tell you, I got 105 different identities asking our people, what's your race? What's your nationality? I got 105 different identities. So don't tell me about we this and we that. No, we Gentiles. And some of you still Gentiles calling yourself Hebrew Israelites because you still got a Gentile state of mind. And that's how you think. And they based upon what the word says. So you're still in the Gentile state of mind. Because you should be able to say, I believe this, and here it is right here. Bam. Like I'm saying things, I'm going here, I'm just saying that I can't prove. It's right here. They call them Gentiles. That's why if you go to church, next time you go to church, ask your preacher to bring something out from James and say it's talking to you as a Gentile. Okay? The Apostle James, tell him to go to the book of James, say, and it's talking to you as a Gentile. Because I go to James 1:1, look what it's addressed to, point blank. And you go to all these beginning of all these chapters, and I prove to you what I just said. James 1:1, James, a servant of the Most High, and of the Mashiach Yahushua, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. Now tell me that's talking to the Gentiles. It says to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greetings. Point blank. My brethren, of the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad, greetings. Scattered amongst all these nations. That's to his brethren. So you tell me, you as a Gentile, is any of those words in James talking to you? You know those books I just named. You can prove they're all talking to Israel, the Israelites. So we are light to our people. And you ask a brother that came from whatever denomination, which is demon in nations, but y'all ain't really looking at things analytical to think about where it comes from. Because it's not dealing with the truth of the Most High, this Bible. You remember, the devil's job is what? To deceive the whole world by sorcery. So that's how they operating. By sorcery. And their sorcery is to the utmost. This is what the Most High told us. Go to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. He's warning us of this. Many things in the law, he's telling us. We in the wilderness, came out of Egyptian captivity, all 12 tribes. So everybody heard this, just like you're hearing it now. And to hear it is given to you to change. Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, let's look at verse 27. And the Most High shall scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Most High shall lead you. Because we didn't want to follow what he say do. Verse 30. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days. We're in the last days now, y'all. When thou art in tribulation, Jacob's trouble. We in it. And all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days. If thou turn to the Most High thy power, and shall be obedient unto his voice. That means you got to follow his rules and regulations. To be obedient to his voice, you got to do what he say do. You got to follow his moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws. We just had a new moon feast, you know. That's a law that the Most High ordained during the time when Joseph was in Egypt. So you either dealt with it or you didn't deal with it. You either broke the law or you followed the law. You think about it. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days as we in now, if thou turn to the Most High thy power, and shall be obedient unto his voice. He established a law. That's one law. That's our first day of the month. We count from the first day of the month of the feast days and so forth. For the Most High thy power, your power, Yasharallah, is a merciful power. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant, the contract, the agreement of thy fathers, the contract or the agreement, the covenant that he had with Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel, which he swore unto them. He said, for the acts now of the days that are past, acts of the days of old, which were before thee, which happened before us, since the day that the Most High created man upon the earth, and acts from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as this great thing is, or have been heard like it. Did ever people hear the voice of the Most High speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and lived? Or have the Most High essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation, by temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Most High, your power, Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel, did for you in Egypt before your eyes? If thou can say, who can say that? Nobody. All the nations watched all those 10 plagues the Most High put up on the Egyptians. Most High got him a name. What you think he gonna do this time? It's gonna last forever and ever and ever. The name he gonna get this time, when he show up and show out. He told us Deuteronomy 20. He told us there. What did he tell us? He told us in verse 27, the Most High shall scatter you among the nations. Right? And ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Most High shall lead you. Right? But he told us in Deuteronomy 28. See, he warned us over and over again. That's why the Most High speak once and twice. Never see it not. Deuteronomy 28, 15, he told us this. He said, hey, but it shall come to pass in the future, 12 tribes of Israel, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right? And we didn't. We didn't follow what he said, dude. That's why from 16 all the way to 68 of the curses befell us as a people. I challenge you. Allow any other nation to go through these curses from verse 16 of Deuteronomy 28th chapter all the way to 68 and say, oh, that befell us. This won't befall nobody but us, Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel. Look what he said in verse 64. And the Most High And the Most High, who is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob's name changed to Israel, who became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there, when we scattered among all these nations, these heathen, and there thou shalt serve other gods, right? Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Let me show you. You know, I was showing you how he said we're gonna serve other gods, right? Let me show you something. We're gonna go back to 1609, right? This is the Holy Bible from 1609. Let me show you something. I've showed you where it's this picture. Some of you might have seen it, because some of you probably look at a few videos and stop. But it says, in the beginning, God, this G-O-D, created heaven and earth, right? So look who they, other gods that our forefathers didn't know. Look what they got right here. See? You can read it. Who it is, the so-called white man. He got his right hand on the crescent moon, representing fertility God, right? That's God, G-O-D, right? And y'all calling on Lord too. Look at that. The Spirit just brought me right to it. All praise to the Most High. Y'all calling on Lord too, right? It says, in the L-O-R-D, set a mark upon Cain, right? So look what they did. So just why you can't come out of darkness, because you see right here, so-called white man representing the L-O-R-D, and he's looking at Cain that killed Abel, who's a so-called Caucasian, the Edomite, and the Most High's hand is reaching from the sky and touching Cain, turning him black, which was contrary to what really happened. Cain was given leprosy, which he turned him so-called white, like the palm of your hand, the bottom of your feet. So you see, that's your G-O-D and L-O-R-D right in front of your face. What did he say? And you can't tell me nothing. My people will still before me and say they believe just what I just showed you. And they believe that the so-called white man gonna come back and save them from our condition. This Bible is really real, man. Deuteronomy 28:64, and the Most High shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there when we scatter among these other nations, thou shalt serve other gods, which I just showed you one. Was neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So you know why we were cast away? You gotta look at why. Because we didn't follow what he said do. He said we're gonna follow all these other heathens gods, man. These nations gods. While we're in the condition we in. Sad, but it's real. Look at Jeremiah 36 chapter. What is Jeremiah 36? Show you some things that we did while we in captivity. While we went into captivity. Being in captivity, like we're in captivity now, look at the things that we do, that we accept. Jeremiah 36, let's look at verse 19. Then said the princess unto Baruch, go hide thee, thou and Jeremiah, and let no man know where you be. Go hide. Salakia. Is that what I want? No, I think I want Ezekiel. Let me try Ezekiel. Let's see if that's what I want. Might have to go back to my. Yeah. Ezekiel 36 and 19. Salakia. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way, and according to their doings I judged them. See that? And when they entered, just want to talk about us, Most High said he's going to do this, and he did this. And when they entered into the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. See? Profane is, we'll say, I'll just say for, that's the word, I don't like to use that word G-O-D because that dog spelled backwards, most high list. Okay? Polluted. Defiled. Made it unholy. He said, I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries, that's us, according to their way. And according to their doings, I judged them. What we done. Why he did this to us. And when they entered into the heathen, we went among these heathen. Whither they went, they profaned my holy name, because the Most High name is in our name. Yah. Sha'ala. Prince of the power. Look, when they said to them, these are the people of the Most High, and are gone forth out of his land. Listen, but I had pity for mine holy name. You know? He had pity for his holy name, like you have pity for his holy name again when he delivers us. But we got to have the right spirit of humility for him to deliver us. To have pity for his holy name. He ain't had it so far. Which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. You hear that? We profaned the Most High's name when we went among these heathen. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus say the Most High power, say to the 12 tribes of Israel, this what the Most High got to say to you. I do not this for your sakes. He ain't doing them because we think we holier than thou, any of us. See, I ain't doing this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. Shall look at all the things that we've done. Shall wickedness compass the ways of the wicked? Say, we taught the wicked ones our ways. This is what we say, and I will sanctify my great name, which will profane among the heathen. Thus say the Most High, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. You think about it. These false prophets saying we ain't even got to follow the Most High. And that's what you're saying when you say we ain't under his laws that he wrote with his finger, the work of the Most High. So people doing all kind of things. I just seen footage of Creflo Dollar saying he was wrong and collected tithes all these years. And many more things gonna come out of these prophets, these pastors, so-called pastors in these last days. The law says this, I ain't got to do it because I don't feel like I got to do it. I don't want to do it. Tell the Most High, forget you. What you think he going to do to you? Oh, you better have your fun. Because what's written in this Bible, when he changed and started to bring forth his wrath and fury and indignation and woe and destruction, you better be ready. You better be ready. He said, I will sanctify my great name, because you done defiled his name, profaned his name, you most high less in the things that you're doing, contrary to this word. He said in a lot of days you're going to consider it. But understand. He said, I will sanctify my great name. This is the Most High said he's going to sanctify his great name, which was profane among the heathen. This is where we at. Which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know. You other nations outside of the 12 tribes, you're going to know that I am the Most High, he said. Said the Most High. Make it mean something different. Make it be something different. Make him not do what he say he's going to do. All you great ones of the world, do what he said, and the heathen shall know that I am the Most High. Said the Most High. When I shall be sanctified in you, Yasharallah, be sanctified in us before their eyes, like he being sanctified amongst us right now before your eyes, heathen. Talking about these other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's happening right before you, because the kingdom of heaven comes without observation. You can say over here, over there. No, the kingdom of heaven is within us. We the Israelites. And we at least got enough sense to say repent and keep the commandments of the Most High. That's why he said, and the heathen shall know that I am the Most High. This ain't nothing that no man can do. This the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, you gonna know that he is the Most High. Said the Most High. When I shall be sanctified in you, the 12 tribes of Israel before their eyes. He said, for I will take you from among the heathen. That's the Most High gonna do this. And gather you out of all countries. And will bring you into your own land. That's what the Most High gonna do. So I don't care what y'all trying to do. It's gonna be an elect. That's gonna cause this whole world to shake and to shiver and to be afraid and be scared. Because the Most High gonna, look, my second child can't say it enough. He said it. Look, y'all try all y'all want to for population decrease. You ain't gonna decrease the elect of the Most High. Listen, he gonna have them. Listen what he said. Matthew 24:22. It says, let's read verse 20. It says, for then shall be great tribulation. Y'all gotta be ready for this. Such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. That's tribulation that's coming. Is coming. You see the food shortage, you see the gas prices rising. You see they paying people not to bring the crops to the market. Look at some hamburgers, $21 for 3 pounds. Was that like almost like what? $7 a pound? Come on now. Hamburger. Everything's going sky high. Say, hey, then shall be great tribulation. War gonna be in the streets. But a lack of bread. And great tribulation, it says. Because of pride. The city's gonna be troubled, it says. 2 Ezra 15:14 on down. Gonna be racial wars. Not just this race against another race, everybody against each other. You know? But you that come back to the law, statutes, commandments, and following righteousness, give your life to this truth, learn it, live it, and apply it, most I say, you got opportunity not to even deal with none of that. But then shall be great tribulation. That's hell in the streets, y'all, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. The times we're living in, that's in the future. And except those days shall be shortened, the days we're living in now should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. That's why they talk about population decrease. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. See? The days going to be shortened for the elect's sake. And the elect is the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. You're going to shorten the days. For our sake. The 12 tribes of Israel. Not including myself in that. I hope you don't. I pray that I will be, but most I said never, don't make thyself one of the number. So going back to Ezekiel, because there's a reason why, all these things come upon us, because he told us, hey, you follow me, you're going to be all right. You don't. Kick you out the land. We got kicked out the land. We had to go amongst these heathen. And some of us, think about, some of us being righteous still had to deal with these heathen like Lot. He was in Sodom and Gomorrah, being vexed all the time. It's like we in Sodom and Gomorrah now, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. No matter how you look at it, it is what it is. That's why I say going to do them just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Burn it up. You're going to burn, baby, burn. Going back to Ezekiel the 36th chapter. Verse 24, the Most High says, for I will take you from among the heathen that he scattered us among, because he told us he's going to do this because we didn't follow his laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations that these preachers are saying you're not under now, while we in captivity now, and gather you out of all countries that he scattered us among, and will bring you into your own land. That's what the Most High say he's going to do. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, this clean word to clean us up. And ye shall be clean. That's why it says in St. John 17:70, sanctify them through thy truth. That word is truth. See? Then when I sprinkle clean water upon you, he's going to set us in our own land and sprinkle clean water on us. The clean word of the Most High. Now you are clean through the word. Mashiach Shai says, St. John 15:3. And ye shall be clean from all your filthiness. I mean, he's going to forgive us for all our sins. And from all your idols will I cleanse you. See? Let's go to, because we look at Psalms 96:5, we went among these heathen nations, right? Say, for all the gods of the nations are idols. Just showed you in the Bible. It's them. It's them. Amongst all the other nations. The gods are idols. Let's go to Ezekiel the 8th chapter. And I'm gonna start at verse 6. I'm gonna read down. We're gonna keep on going into this Israel being cast out, and while we're cast out, and in the spirit of the Most High through his word, and the things that we done then and what we do now. And a lot of people will justify what they do now, but they probably ain't never seen a lot of things that will be exposed. Pay attention. Ezekiel 8 and 6. Okay. He said furthermore unto me, Son of man, Ezekiel, seek thou what they do. See it what they do. You see what they doing? You see what we doing as the Israelites? Even the great abomination, filthy wicked acts, filthy wicked sins that the house of Israel committed here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary, but turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. Say, look at them again. Go check out what they're doing now. And you're going to see greater abomination, filthy wicked acts. And he brought me to the door of the court. And when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. So he brought me to the door of the court. And he looked in this hole that was in the wall, right? Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the walls. Dig in this hole. Make this hole bigger. Dig in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. So he dug in the wall. He sent a door. And he said unto me, Go in, and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. He said, go in that door and look at what we doing as the Israelites. And he said unto me, Go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. And so I went in and saw. Ezekiel went in and was looking around. And behold, every form of creeping things, an abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel portrayed upon the wall around about. All the abominations on the walls, drawn on the walls, he's seeing. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel. And in the midst of them stood Zaazaniah, the son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand. Censers are what we use to burn the incense. And a thick cloud of incense went up, see? They burning this incense. And a thick cloud of incense going up from the censer. This is something to hold the incense. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? Every man in the chambers of his imaginary. See what they doing in the dark? Every man in his own imagination. For they say, the Most High seeth us not. That's that you don't see me spirit. I did a lesson on that. You don't see me. People that think the Most High don't see them. The Most High seeth us not. The Most High ain't looking at us. The Most High have forsaken the earth. That's what they telling people. The Most High done forsaken the earth. He ain't looking at us. Just like the kingdom that's ruling now say the same thing. They say the same thing. Hold that. They say the same thing. Go to Isaiah 47th chapter. And in verse 10 it says, For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, None seeth me. See? Oh, praise the Most High. Same thing we saying, but remember, we scattered among these heathen, and we learned the way of the heathen. He told us, learn not the way of the heathen in Jeremiah 10:2. We did that. So he says, For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, None seeth me. See? Same thing we said, Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And I just showed you in the Bible where they showed themselves as the Most High. They showed themselves as a Mashiach Yahushua, any way you want to look at it. Who did that? So a white man did. So here we are in Ezekiel, the 8th chapter, in captivity. And verse 12, Then said he unto me, Son of man, Ezekiel, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? Every man in the chambers of his imaginary, every man in the chambers of his imagination, the way he think. For they say, the Most High seeth us not, not knowing that the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man, even the secret things. The Most High hath forsaken the earth. He said also unto me, Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than they do, that they do. He said, Turn, look again, and you'll see greater abominations that we were doing as Israelites. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Most High's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. You know who Tammuz is? Tammuz is Nimrod, mother Semiramis' child. I'll say it again. Tammuz is Nimrod's mother child. Nimrod and got with his mother, Semiramis. They had a baby named Tammuz. That's your trinity. Nimrod, Semiramis, Tammuz. That's your threesome right there. But it had women at the gates of the Most High's house, which was toward the north, and behold, they sat there weeping for Tammuz, like they do every Easter. They got Lent, and they put that little black mark, a cross on their forehead. How many days? 40 days of Lent, right? That represents every day for a year that this dude Tammuz lived. Because Nimrod was a mighty hunter, and he gonna be like his daddy and try to be a mighty hunter, and a wild boar killed him. He's 40 years old. So every day they celebrate Lent for Easter is a day to represent this dude Tammuz life. But Israelite women sat there weeping for Tammuz. Then said he unto me, Hast thou seen this? O son of man, O Ezekiel, have you seen this? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. This is what we doing as Israelites. And he brought me into the inner court of the Most High's house. And behold, at the door of the temple of the Most High, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men. 25 men. With their backs toward the temple of the Most High, and their faces toward the east. And they worship the sun toward the east. You hear that? They worship the sun toward the east, not the Most High. They worship the sun in the sky toward the east. Greater abomination, going greater and greater and greater, right? Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Listen to what he said. Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here? Is it a light thing to us that we doing all these abominations before the Most High? Listen to what he said. But they have filled the land with violence. Violence. And have returned to provoke me to anger. This is what he said. And lo, for all you ones that want to smoke your reefer, your marijuana, your joints, and lo, they put the branch to their nose. That's smoking. You know, you dry the weed out, you put it there, and you sit. I mean, we have so much, you just sit there and just. They ain't got to roll it up. They just take the branch and just burn, dry it out and have it right there and just everybody getting high. They put the branch to their nose. This is what he gonna do. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Don't think you could do this and get away with it, y'all. Y'all gonna try and come up with all that nonsense, but make it mean something different. He said they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eye shall not spare. He said I ain't gonna have no pity on nobody. Neither will I have pity. There it is. And though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice, this is the only time the Most High had pity on us. Yet will I not hear them. That's why you got to look at, you got to be in the right spirit. You got to be doing the right things. You know, crying to the Most High is the only time he had pity on us, but what he's saying here. You doing wicked things, and you think you going to cry to the Most High, he going to come through for you? No. You sinning and sinning and sinning. No, I'm going to cry to the Most High, everything going to be all right. No. Most High say some people praying to themselves. That's deep right there. That's scary to me. Make me feel to know you can be praying, you praying to yourself. That's what scripture says. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eye shall not spare. When he start jacking you, neither will I have pity. Then you know, because most I have pity on us when we cry to him. As the Israelites, only time he released us from captivity, we cried to him and he felt pity for us because we sincerely humbled ourselves before him. Neither will I have pity, he said. And though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them. Man, that's scary right there. You going through the fury of the Most High, and you crying to him, asking for forgiveness, repenting, and he said, yet will I not hear them. That's deep. That's why he also said, because he calling you now. Whoever hear my voice, he calling you. Come back to him. You don't have no excuse. What you want to know is in his Bible. Ain't no excuse. That's why he said, also in Proverbs, the 1st chapter, he said, verse 24, because I called and you refused. He calling you now. I have stretched out my hand. I'm a vessel of the Most High's hand, as a man of the Most High, and no man regarded. Y'all push it to the side if you want. But ye have set at naught nothing, all my counsel. Many hours and hours and hours of bringing forth the truth to you, and with none of my reproof. And the Most High checking us. Somebody went through it harder than others. He didn't check me from my head to my toe. Everything in between. All this way, that way, whatever way you think of, man. Think I ain't recognize? I recognized before I was even learning this Bible like this. Oh yeah, I recognize him. He said, because I called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded it, but ye have said at not nothing of my counsel and with none of my reproof. Who he love, he chasts. Sometimes he been chastising people. They didn't even recognize it. Go back to the same old wickedness they was doing. The Most High jack them again. That's why he said, I will also laugh at your calamity when he jacking you. Here you are thinking you're going to cry to the Most High. He said, he laughing at you. Like you say, I ain't going to hear you when you pray, when you cry. Loud, with a loud voice. You say, I ain't going to hear you. Because you said at not all his counsel and with none of his reproof. You say, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When you get scared. He going to be making fun of you. When your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me. Then you're going to cry with a loud voice to him. But I will not answer. Man, that's serious. That's scary right there to me. You going through all these changes. The only thing you have left is to call on the Most High. And he said, I will not answer. Then it says, they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge. See, you ain't want to study this. You ain't want to go into what you got to deal with to be able to have the Most High work with you. Say because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Most High. You think that ain't serious? So you hate knowledge, you didn't choose the fear of the Most High. I can't even imagine the Most High making fun of me, man. That's like, you better think about that, boy. Better think about that. As serious can be. Look at Revelation, the 5th chapter. You know, I was looking at how the weather is, it says, they call it global warming, but the Most High is doing this. Look, Revelation 5 and 9. Look what it say. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and he opened the seals thereof, but thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. You see that? This talk about a Mashiach Yahushua. It says, and they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, but thou wast slain. So a white man killed a Mashiach Yahushua, and has redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue, different languages, and people, because we scattered among all these heathen, and nations. You see? And has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. You hear that? Y'all talk about we're going to reign up in heaven. Yeah, we're going to reign up in heaven, but the up in heaven going to be reigning on the earth, as it says. The kingdom of heaven will be right here. And has made us into our power kings and priests. We're going to be kings and priests. And we shall reign on the earth as Israelites. I say we, I mean the Israelites. Just like I said, I dare not make myself one of the number. But we as the Israelites going to be kings and priests. And we going to reign on the earth, as it says. We got next forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You see? So when you look at Revelation 7 and 9, after he named the 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, it says, after this I beheld in the Lord a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues. Same thing we just read in Revelation 5 and 9. Because we scattered among these nations, so we got to be able to come out of these nations. And when we come out of the nations, we're going to speak different languages, and he got to get us from of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne. But it says all nations, right? A lot of people don't look at this, and they look at this is where the Gentile nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel go to say they're going to be part of the kingdom. Just their hope right here. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. Let's deal with that great multitude first. Well, 2 Ezra 3:16, it'll define the great multitude. We get to understand through the precepts. So when you look at 2 Ezra 3 and 16, and unto him who is Abraham thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob. So you had Abraham who had a son named Isaac, Isaac had a son named Jacob. Thou didst choose him to thee. So the Most High chose Jacob to himself. And put by Esau, because Esau was the elder son. They were twins, fraternal twins. When you read Genesis 25:25 and Genesis 25:26. But he put by Esau. Remember the Most High told us in Romans, the 9th chapter, the 13th verse, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So 2 Ezra 3:16 says, and unto him, Abraham, our forefather, thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, but put by Esau, put Esau to the side. Remember he said he hated Esau. Romans 9:13, as it is written. Where's it written at? Anytime it's in the New Testament, you got to look back to the Old Testament to see where it's written. Because they didn't have no New Testament. And when you understand that, then you read the New Testament as coming from the Old Testament. Malachi, 1st chapter, verse 1 to 3. It says, and unto him